Dear students, in the female reproductive system, we are having one more important organ, that is the fallopian tube. So far the term fallopian tube is concerned, it is a tube-like structure, or what we call as the oviducts. These are the ducts through which the ova transfer. It is one pair in number. That means there are two oviducts, just like there are two ovaries. They are funnel shaped. They are long, 10 to 12 centimeters in length, muscular and tubular structures, which extend from the periphery of ovaries to uterus. Each fallopian tube is differentiated into three parts. The first part is called the ampulla. The second part of this is called as isthmus. And the third part of the oviduct, what we call as the fallopian tube, that is uterine part. This means the fallopian tube or the oviduct then lastly terminates into the uterus or the womb. Ampulla is outer and wide, 3 millimeters in diameter. And so far isthmus is concerned, it is middle and narrow and ciliated. And so far the uterine part is concerned, it is inner narrow part which opens in the upper part of the uterus. Later on, this oviduct terminates into uterus through the uterine part. The function of the oviduct is conduction of sperm or zygote, conduction of ovum or zygote. It conducts ovum as well as it conducts zygote after the fertilization. It is also site of fertilization, where the male and the female gametes unite to form the diploid zygote. One more organ is there associated with the human female reproductive system, that is called the uterus. This is the third important organ associated with that. It is large. The size of the uterus is, it is 8 centimeters long, 5 centimeters wide, and 2 centimeters what we call as height. It is also called the womb, in which the development of the fetus or the child take place. Whenever we see this structure, it is hollow, just like the balloon. Number one, and it is muscular in nature. No skeletal structure is present there. It is highly vascular. Highly vascular due to the reason that it has to bear the child or the developing fetus, which needs extraordinary blood vascular supply. That is, it is highly vascular. One more important thing is, it is inverted, pear-shaped structure present in the pelvis between the bladder and the rectum. Between the urinary bladder is the part of the kidney, and urinary system or excretory system, and the rectum, it is the last part of the what we call as the laryngeal part. In between these two things there is present the uterus. It is formed of three parts. This uterus is formed of three parts. The first part is called the fundus. The second part is called the body or corpus. The third part of the uterus, that is called the cervix. These are the three differentiated parts of the uterus. The function of the uterus is the endometrium, especially present in the uterus, is the site of implantation and fetal growth during pregnancy. It also takes part in the placental formation. This is the function and the structure of the uterus. One more, human female reproductive system, that is, there is vagina. This is the fourth important structure. It is fibromuscular tube. This vagina is fibromuscular tube in nature. It extends backwards in front of rectum and anal canal from cervix to the vestibule. It is highly vascular tube. This tube is also highly vascular, containing extraordinary supply of blood vessels. Internally lined by mucous membrane. The mucous membrane lines the internal membrane of this, what we call as the vagina, and is raised into transverse fold called the vaginal rugae. There are some folds present in the vagina. They are called as vaginal rugae. So for the lastly, it opens outside by a vestibule called the vaginal orifice. So far the function of the vagina is concerned, it acts both as copulatory canal, as well as it receives the sperm from the penis during the copulation, and it also acts as a birth canal, that is cervical canal plus vagina during parturition. This is all about the structure and functions of uterus, fallopian tube or the oviduct, and vagina in the female reproductive system. That's all for today.